introduce this good brother to those who may be out there tuning in for their first time. Brother Heru Fariata's Bachelor's of Science degree in Biology and Psychology from Tufts University and Juris Doctor from Northeastern University School of Law. And Brother Heru Fariata is the founder of that great Health Results Industries, where his company formulates, manufactures, and distributes natural health products and herbal medicines. Herbal Results Industries has achieved success in reversing a wide range of serious illnesses, including but not limited to hypertension, diabetes, diverse cancers, tumors, fibroids, seizures, kidney failure, herpes, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And our brother's also an avid researcher as well, and public intellectual who routinely engages in lectures and interviews worldwide. So, and by the way, the brother, Brother Heru, we talked about, we got Brother Jameson talked about his buddy that unbeknownst to you and me had used your product and has some success, man. So hopefully, the brother has contacted you for an interview. But before you even respond to that, let's go to Herbal Results, man. Are you stocked on all of the products, brother?
Yes, everything is in stock.
Good.
Every single product that people love and want is fully in stock. The olive leaf extract, super strength, maximum strength, fully in stock. The vitamin D3 plus K2, which is really making a big difference in people's health and people's energy levels, is fully in stock. The magnesium, zinc, selenium, which is helping a lot of people sleep, helping a lot of people reverse their high blood pressure, their diabetes, and what have you. That's fully in stock. The Vitex for women is fully in stock. The Starve Cancer and Parasites is fully in stock. Our anti-parasite double kit is in stock. So everything is fully in stock. The CBD oil is fully in stock. So people, go to herbalresults.net. The website is below my image here on the screen, right below my name. Go there and have at it. And, make sure that when you get these results of reversing whatever problem you're dealing with, you'll contact us and let us know, So, that's what we're doing, man. We are definitely ready for all the customers. We've been ready. And anytime something is not in stock, we work very quickly to get it back in stock. So, just happy to announce, and thanks for asking, Anthony, because sometimes customers do want to know. But yeah, if you go to the shop page on herbalresults.net, you will see that we are fully in stock of everything. The Moringa Lantro is in stock fully. So, we've tried to make everything available for the people.
Yeah, I advise folks out there, you got family members, friends and family members, and yourself. So you may say, well, I'm good right now. Well, doing good. Look, stock up on it. You never know who may need it in the family, or friends may need it, or even yourself. So I would advise you to go ahead and stock up on this or these products, and not only stock up on the products, but while you're there, purchase a t-shirt there. You got hypertension reversed t-shirt, and sugar and disease t-shirt as well. Diabetes reversed, cancer eradicated. Results speak louder than words. Salt is not a spice. So go there and get you some of the Herbal Results merchandise right there at herbalresults.net, my brother.
Absolutely. Also, some housekeeping. We just got through doing some lectures. The weekend before we did Richmond, Virginia. We did an online lecture with the brother at Black Power Media, Kalanji Jamachanga, and we will be going right back in a couple weeks. Probably, what is it going to be? A week and a half, July 11th. Saturday, July 11th, we will be in London, England, United Kingdom, and we will be giving a lecture on everything, on reversing cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, and also reversing autoimmune illnesses. We're going to give everyone chapter and verse. We're going to give you evidence. We're going to give you scientific studies. We're going to give you video, laboratory microscopic images of parasites. We're going to give you a protocol. We're going to give you a lot of case studies. And so London should be kind of lit. It should be something where, you're going to come with your notebook, and you're going to come with your family members who are suffering from these particular illnesses. It's so rampant that anywhere you go in the world, just about everyone has a family member, or they themselves either has high blood pressure, particularly if you're over, I'd say 40.
Right.
Just about everyone in there has someone in their family that has high blood pressure,
That's right.
diabetes, cancer, autoimmune disease, kidney problems. One of those things is coming up, or respiratory illnesses, and we're going to just deal with it all in one fell swoop. We're going to give you an integrated approach, a unified, integrated approach to deal with these problems from a first principles thinking perspective, right? So we're going to show you all what first principles thinking is, how to think about health from a first principles approach, and why we're so consistent in getting these reversals for people using a first principles approach, and then you're able to do it yourself from the comfort of your own home. So this is our mission in Herbal Results, to show people how they can help themselves. So what I want to do is I want to share here with people as people are tuning in. I see people are tuning in on X, people are tuning in on WSYP 95.1 on Facebook. People are tuned in on my YouTube channel. People are tuned in also on my Facebook channel. Red Pill has not joined us yet. He probably had a long weekend. We'll give him time to bring in his audience. Today we'll be doing a high blood pressure and diabetes testimonial all in one person. So this is a person who was diagnosed with high blood pressure and diabetes, and we're going to listen to what he has to say about how he quickly reversed both conditions with no medication, and was able to do it with Herbal Results products. We do have a question here. Carlos says, how many times a year would you recommend on taking your protocol of the olive leaf extract? It just depends on what you're dealing with. So, if you've got cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, you definitely want to take it until you're, given the diagnosis of no evidence of any disease. So, you want to take it and you want to take it 3 times a day until your blood pressure is regulated on a normal level. Then you can start, instead of taking it 3 times a day, you might do once a day, make sure your levels are good. What you're doing is you're doing a body reset, and you want to make sure that you're maintaining a diet that does not trigger the inflammatory responses that are causing your problems in the first place. So really it's about getting yourself accustomed to a diet and eating habits that are conducive to your health. And then once you got a handle on that, usually will take from 30 days to 3 months for people to get a handle on their new diet and their new way of life, where food is no longer, a playground. Food is looked at in terms of, utilitarian use of food, which is, I want to eat the food that's going to give me the most nutrients, the best nutrients, and give me what my body needs to take care of itself, which is what your immune system would need, what your body would need to run itself properly. Most people's illnesses is because their body does not have the proper nutrients to do what the body naturally does. And so your body starts breaking down and giving you signs of breaking down because it's not receiving the right nutrients. Just like your car, if it doesn't receive the right fuel, it's not going to run correctly. So once we show people that, if we clean out your car and then give it the right fuel, it's going to run. But the moment that you start giving the car the wrong fuel, right, you can't expect it to run properly, right? So I don't want people to think that like you're going to take a magic pill or a magic potion, then all of a sudden your problems are going to be solved. And you can go back to feeding your car, which is your body, the wrong fuel, right? It's going to end up breaking down. So I think
Yeah.
that that is actually, Anthony, I think that this is one of the biggest problems in the modern health industry, or people understanding that
That's right.
people have been made to think that you can abuse your body. And a lot of times people don't know knowingly that they're abusing their body, right? They just think that life is life. And I'm 40, I'm 50. Old age has worn down my body. Something has gone wrong. Let me take a pill that is going to change my situation. And this has been done conveniently. It's been done conveniently because what that does is that puts the power in the hands of a third party who's supposed to come and rescue you, which is the pharmaceutical industry. And so, since the pharmaceutical industry controls most of the advertising that is in media, it controls the stories that's in the media place, because when you go to any media channels, these news stations such as CNN or whatever people watch, um, you'll see that 80% of the ads are pretty much run by the pharmaceutical industries. So what has happened is there's been a narrative that has been implanted into people's minds that there is a magic pill that you're going to take that is going to solve your problem. It's a pill you're going to take that's going to make you lose weight. It's a pill you're going to take to make you no longer have high blood pressure. They tell you have to take this pill for the rest of your life, right? And then they'll add more pills on and more pills on and more. So then the average person, by the time you're 50, you've taken 6 to 10 pills per day in terms of pharmaceutical pills, and they never tell you the side effects of these pills, or they never really sit down and break it down to you in terms of what these pills can maybe able to do to your kidneys or what have you. And what we do at Herbal Results is we just show you, like, here's the side effects that's listed for the pharmaceutical pills that you're taking. How come you were never told this, right? So that becomes a shocker for people. But people need to understand that you're not going to feed a tree poison and then give it a magic pill and all of a sudden the tree is okay. And I think what it is that people don't realize that what they're eating is poison, because in their mind, why would supermarkets sell me poison, right? Wouldn't that be illegal? So this is the mind of people, is that the food that I'm buying in a supermarket has been approved to be sold. So therefore, why would it make me sick? This is what's going on in the mind of people who are not yet cynical about the system that they're living in, right? They're not cynical. And so what it is that they'll say, why would the government allow this to happen? Or why would, the authorities allow bad food to be sold, or food that's deleterious to our health to be sold? And so what happens is that people walk through life, they go to their grocery store and they say, oh, we get this, we get that, and we'll eat this, cookies and all of that. And they never have been educated to understand that this stuff that you're eating is actually toxic, right? Because in the mind, there's a disconnect that if it's toxic, then why is it being sold to me, right? Then you start to realize that it doesn't matter. It's about the money. And so the food industry, partnered with the pharmaceutical industry, keeps the money flowing. And that's why your grocery stores, when we were younger, grocery stores were separated from pharmacies. They were different stores. So now your pharmacy is in your grocery stores, right? Because they know that the food that they're selling you is going to make you sick. And so you have basically your customer base is at the grocery store for the pharmacy, right? The customer base is there because they know that all of this chemicalized food that you're eating that has preservatives that are causing inflammation is meant to preserve the food from going rotten, but is not meant to preserve your life. It actually has the opposite effect, right? And that's why we always say that the rule of thumb is the longer the shelf life of your food, the shorter the shelf life of the human being who consumes it, right? And you can have food on the grocery shelf in a box for a year and it doesn't go bad. And you have to ask yourself, why? How did that happen? That's because they put chemical preservatives in this food. That's because they bleach out and take out the fiber out of, wheat and sell it to you as white flour so that it doesn't, decompose as quickly. So this goes on and on and on and on. And you're eating this and your body is being loaded with toxicity in the form of hypoglycemic foods, hyperglycemic foods, which is foods that just shoot up your blood sugar. And it does it over and over and over again. And imagine if you're snacking throughout the day. So you're just basically giving yourself blood sugar spikes, which is insulin also spikes. So you look at blood sugar and insulin, they just go hand in hand. And the more you release insulin in your body throughout the day, you develop a thing called insulin resistance. You do this for 20 years, right? And people wonder, man, I've been eating like this since I was like 15. Why am I sick now and I'm 40? Well, you went 25 years of basically eating food that is triggering insulin 6 times a day. And this insulin is a hormone that is a fat storage hormone and an inflammatory hormone. So your body's in a state of inflammation and in a state of fat storage. And so that's why by the time you hit 40 and 50, people are morbidly obese because of them releasing insulin so much, developing insulin resistance. The insulin is no longer working to do its main job of moving sugar from the blood into the cell for energy. That's the main job of insulin, but it also has all these other ancillary effects. And this is happening to you throughout the day, and it's happening for 20 years, 30 years. Your body breaks down with insulin resistance, and then they tell you you've got diabetes or you've got high blood pressure, because high blood pressure is largely caused by insulin resistance, which is inflammation of your arterial walls. And you're getting these problems and no one is explaining it to you, and they tell you go and take these pills. When you take these pills have these deleterious side effects that you are not even made aware of. And before you know it, you've got kidney failure. Before you know it, you've got erectile dysfunction. Before you know it, you've got insomnia. Before you know it, you've got other things going on that, we've gone over show after show until people get the point. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, just do yourself a favor, and this is what I do in all my lectures. I want you to just go to drugs.com, right? You go to drugs.com, put in the name of your medication, put in the side effects, and put in the word side effects. And then you're going to go to where it says common, severe, long-term. For that listing, click it and start looking at it. And the side effects are separated to 3 sections. The first section is the side effects that if they do appear, you should call a medical professional. And then the second listing of the side effects is if those side effects appear, you do not need to call a medical professional. So in other words, you can just live with it, right? And then the third listing is what they call for healthcare professionals. And what they do is they separate the side effects based on organs. And it's very important that you read it. You should not be taking anything in consistently that you don't know the side effects of. So just that exercise alone has saved a lot of people's lives and made people ask the question, well, if I'm taking this for my blood pressure and it has all these side effects such as kidney failure, what can I do to lower my blood pressure and get my blood pressure normal? That's a logical question, right? If this is bad for me to do, then what is the solution, right? Well, the solution is within you. But you see, what happens is that you need to understand first why you have diabetes, why you have high blood pressure, why you have autoimmune illnesses, so forth and so on, why you have kidney failure. Once you understand the foundational reason as to why you have this problem, it's easier for you to solve the problem. And there is no solving these health issues, these main health issues. Number 1 killer being heart disease, number 2 being cancer, Then you have respiratory illness. Of course, you have iatrogenics, which is death by medical error or death by doctor. That's number 3, according to Johns Hopkins. Then you have respiratory illnesses. Then below that, you have your diabetes, autoimmune illness, and so forth and so on. Well, let me just be clear with you. There is no changing your condition from being sick and not sick of any of those diseases that I listed without you changing your diet, because your diet is something that you're engaged in, most people in industrial society, at least 3 times a day. So you're taking these inputs into your body at least 3 times a day, which is really too much. When you don't have a good source of what you're taking into your body in terms of what is inflammatory, what's not inflammatory, most of what you're eating is inflammatory, this is why you're going to end up with these conditions. So the first thing that you do is you address what you're feeding yourself. All health conversations should start with that. What are your inputs? And then you get to find out what is toxic and what is not. In other words, what is inflammatory and what is not. Okay, you eliminate the inflammatory foods. Because you've been eating these foods that basically have no nutritive value and it's causing inflammation, you are almost certainly deficient in nutrients. And the nutrients that are seeing the most deficiency really is vitamin D3, which is, the sunlight, hormone, which is basically the fundamental piece for your immune system, right? And then you have magnesium, and you have zinc, and you have selenium. If you can correct for just those things, you'd have done a lot. And then for a good majority of people, it's also B complex as well. That's vitamin B1 all the way to 12, right? Thiamine all the way to B12. And usually, if people supplement for these things, magnesium, zinc, selenium, vitamin B12, vitamin D3 plus K2, cut out inflammatory foods and add anti-inflammatory herbs such as olive leaf extract, black seed oil, turmeric, all types of, garlic. You add this into your dietary program, you start seeing these problems get reversed, man. You start seeing it reversed, and you don't feed the problem with inflammatory foods, namely sugar, foods that quickly turn into sugar, which is the refined carbohydrates, and you cut out the vegetable seed oils. That's the canola oil, sunflower oil, corn oil. Replace it with coconut oil, virgin coconut oil. You start seeing a lot of these problems get addressed quickly. What we're going to do today is I'm going to play a testimonial for you all. This is a brother who reversed his high blood pressure and diabetes simultaneously by using the Herbal Results protocol of removing inflammatory foods, doing a little fasting here and there, and using the olive leaf extract to reverse the inflammatory situation in his body, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this video. It is on our website, herbalresults.net. I would tell people that the best use of their time, if you really want to learn about reversing illnesses, is literally go to herbalresults.net and go to the testimonials page. And from time to time, we'll draw from these testimonials. And every week or two, we try to add new testimonials. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and share that with you all. So let's do that. But before I start, what I want to do is I want to share the information of the London lecture. Some people have been asking. So this is the London lecture. Are you able to see this, Brother Anthony? This is it.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. So I'm being brought to England by Global Legacy Builders. And the title is The Path to Eradicating Cancer and Autoimmune Disease. And there will be more than that. We're going to discuss how to prevent and, if necessary, treat the following: cancer and tumors, high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney failure, autoimmune diseases, and more. This is going to be on Saturday, July 11th, 2026. The lecture will be conducted by myself, Haru Ofori Atta, and my title is Illness Reversal Engineer. That's the title that I like. It describes the best what I do when I'm dealing with health. I deal with the engineering of illness reversals, okay? And I show you how to do it yourself. And so that's Saturday, July 11th, 2026. We started at noon, 12 noon. The doors will open 11:30 a.m., okay? The venue is going to be Doubletree by the Hilton. We made it a very accessible place. Doubletree by Hilton, London, Kensington, 100 Cromwell Road, London, SW7 4ER. If you want more information, just go to globallegacybuilders.paperform.co. And if you need to call anybody, you can call 0776 779 1435. If you need this flyer, we'll have the flyer on my Facebook and probably on my X account sometime this afternoon. Or you can email us at info@herbalresults to get the flyer. We've got notices of a lot of people looking to show up, so it should be standing room only. We may even try to do a second day for the lecture. The way tickets are selling out, so that's what we're going to be doing in England on July 11th, y'all. So it should be a very, very informative session. No nonsense, straight to the facts, straight to the research, straight to the testimonials, straight to the protocols. And so anyone who attends this lecture, it should be transformative and a solution to your problems, okay? And what we're always looking to do is to solve these problems with the least amount of side effects and for the least amount of money, okay? And to give you a different way of doing things in terms of how you eat and how you take nutrients for your body in the form of supplements, okay? And as we say in the Caribbean, matter fix, all right? So,
matter fix.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get into do you have a phone call coming in, Brother Anthony?
No, not at this time, brother.
All right. We're going to get into right now the video testimonial of high blood pressure and diabetes reversal simultaneously. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you all how to navigate this. Okay. You're going to go to herbalresults.net. You able to see the website, Anthony?
Got it. Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to go to testimonials. You're going to scroll down. You're going to see the first batch of testimonials are cancer and tumor reversals, right? So you're going to see all of these there. You're going to see a whole bunch of them. And all of them are hour-long videos of me interviewing people who've gotten reversals in cancer, okay? Using the Herbal Results protocol and products. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see the high blood pressure and diabetes reversals. And we're going to do this one today. Howard Dorsey discusses reversing his high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, back pain with Herbal Results, okay? And we're going to just go ahead and hit play. This is also on YouTube, on our Herbal Results channel on YouTube, so you can go there. We're going to hit play, and we're going to go like that there. And I think you all should be able to see it.
All right, bless up everybody.
So
Can you see it?
Here live in direct, talking
Okay,
with
what I'm gonna
Howard
do
Dorsey
is-
about his experiences with Herbal Results olive leaf extract for multiple
I'm going to speed it up a little bit.
illness reversals. So
Let's
let's
go to 1.25x.
just get right into it. Please, Howard, just tell us something briefly about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Howard Dorsey, and I'm technology. I've been in technology for past 25 years, and just various businesses and coaching. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do and things of that nature.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 54 years old.
Okay, you're 54. All right, so let's talk about health issues that you were having before you heard about Herbal Results olive leaf extract.
Okay. I was in the military for 10 years. So I guess I adopted some pretty bad eating habits, and I was 5'11", 235. Then I went up to 265, and I was training basketball players, and I was doing an elite camp up at St. Francis University. And a guy that I got certified with came up to me afterwards. There was like 150 kid players there. And he was like, man, look, you're one of the best trainers I've ever seen in my life, but you can't be a fat trainer. And so I was 265 out on the court doing different moves and drills. And so after that, I went to my doctor and I was like, okay, I want to lose this weight. And they did my blood work, and my A1C was up to like 11. So, I mean, I had just a lot of sugar in my body, and then my cholesterol was borderline, and high blood pressure was borderline. So immediately they wanted to put me on metformin and some other high blood pressure and cholesterol meds.
Right. So just put it in context for the people listening. An A1C of 11 is like really, really bad.
That's
a normal number is supposed to be 5 or less.
Correct.
And so he's like double that like number.
Right.
You know, he's at 11. That's crazy. And A1C measures your long-term blood sugar. So you have the other number that would tell you like from 100 to 200, 300, and people who are really, really diabetic, you might see like a 400. That's more of like the short-term blood pressure. I mean, not blood pressure, but blood sugar. But the A1C is the long-term blood sugar, and yours was at 11. So that's definitely, you were not even pre-diabetic. That's diabetic.
Right. It was bad. It was every day was like a roller coaster. I'm up and down based on what I would consume. And so I changed my diet, and I lost 30 pounds. And so I lost 30 pounds. So I'm thinking I'm good, you know, and then my old self would come back and be like, okay, I'm gonna eat this sandwich with this white bread and potatoes and potato chips. And so at that point I had moved to the Virgin Islands, and that's whenever I went full vegan when I got down there. And that's when I saw you at the University of Virgin Islands, but I was still sick. My eyes, my vision was blurry, things of that nature. So I came to your meeting at the University of Virgin Islands, and I saw some of the testimonials that was going on. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. Where a guy, you know, he had 20% functionality of his kidneys or something. He started drinking it. So I immediately got a bottle of it. I think I got it from one of the stores on island.
Which
I got the I didn't get the one I got the olive leaf extract super strength, not with the phytonutrients. But
all right, so yeah, the regular super strength. So just let people know we have two formulas. Correct. We have a super strength formula and also a maximum strength formula. Maximum strength formula is for people who have very serious illnesses that put them in the hospital, right? And yours wasn't such that it put you in the hospital, but you did have a concern, and the 11 blood sugar is definitely a bad blood sugar. You also had high blood pressure. So you chose the super strength, which is a lesser expensive bottle, but it's not as strong either as a maximum strength. So
right, I think I paid $45 or $40 for it on island, and so I started taking it immediately. In the morning, I'd take a capful and pour it in a glass of water and just take it down. Because I mean, and the taste didn't bother me at all, because my smoothies are some of the worst tasting smoothies on earth. So,
right.
but the first couple of days, I felt like a detox. I had a little headache or things of that nature. But and I started using the restroom better. And after about a week, I was locked in. It was good. My energy levels went up. And then I went over to the VA after 3 weeks to get my blood work done again. And then my blood work came back that next month. And they said my A1C was down to 6, and my blood pressure was normal. It was 120/80. And then my blood pressure started, I stopped taking all the medication. I stopped taking all of it.
Okay, so you were on high blood pressure medication, and you were on the diabetes medication?
I was on a metformin, which is a diabetes medication.
Yeah.
And then they gave me some high blood pressure medicine, but that made me sick, so I stopped taking it after a couple of days.
Okay.
But I stopped taking everything once I started taking the olive leaf, because I was taking CMOS too and the olive leaf.
Okay.
But olive leaf definitely made a huge impact in bringing my numbers down. So after that, I just now I take it every day anyway. I just keep it with me. I think I'd rather be proactive than reactive.
Sure. So
because it's anti-cancer as well. So I figured with the diets that we consume. Right. On the bottle, it got a whole plethora.
Yeah.
There's not much that it doesn't cover.
Yeah. Do you know what medication you were on for the high blood pressure? Do you remember the name of it?
I don't.
Okay. It wasn't lisinopril?
It was lisinopril. It was a statin.
Okay.
It was a statin. Right. It wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay. Yeah. So like the reason why I bring up lisinopril is because lisinopril is probably the most popular drug that is prescribed for high blood pressure, and its effects, according to American Heart Association, one of its side effects is acute renal failure. And I have a study that shows the study is entitled Renal Considerations. in angiotensin converting enzyme therapies by the American Heart Association. It was put out in like 2001. And in it, it talks about how these class of medications, ACE inhibitors, which lisinopril is one, and you can tell an ACE inhibitor just by the name. The end of the name will be pril or ill. So captopril, lisinopril, all of those types of things. They are ACE inhibitors, and they end up causing acute renal failure. And it even says in the study that like you can take it for some time and it'll be uneventful. Like you're fine, everything's cool. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, your kidneys shut down. They tell you, oh, you got to go on dialysis. So
Right.
most of these people on dialysis is a lot of high blood pressure medication in the mix there. And we've been able to get people's kidneys restored just by doing exactly what happened with you, by having people take the olive leaf extract, see that the olive leaf extract is maintaining their blood pressure at a healthy level. Now they don't take these other pharmaceuticals, and then lo and behold, all of a sudden the kidneys are back in function, you know? So,
Right. Because I saw where like the VA sent me a letter saying that metformin caused cancer.
yeah, they did
And
a
so-
recall. You know,
Right.
people can Google that, like metformin cancer recall. You can,
Correct.
yeah, there was a recall on that, yeah.
So I had little trust for prescriptions anyway. And my uncle that was in Washington, D.C. with me, I watched him go through that whole thing. I watched him go through the cholesterol medicine, then the high blood pressure medicine, then his kidneys failed, and then he was on dialysis. So I watched that whole process. And it's not something that, you know, you want to partake in if you can find something that's natural that doesn't have those side effects.
Absolutely. So in your situation, you were just kind of doing whatever the doctors told you, and then you just happened to run across Herbal Results product and heard testimonials. But if you hadn't just run across the product or the lecture, you might still be on that medication, or even like we're suffering serious side effects from it right now, right?
Right, because I was searching for something, because I've always been in the natural lane, you know, and especially since I was losing weight and everything, and I was just trying to be healthy in general. So I was searching for something when I saw your meeting, when I came to your meeting at the University of Virgin Islands.
Right.
And so that was perfect timing for me with the Herbal Results product, with the olive leaf extract.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I feel like there's a lot of people that I recommend it to, and they'll take it and it'll fix their problem, and then they'll stop taking it.
Right.
And then they'll go back to their old habits and they're wondering, oh, I need some more of that.
Right.
But I feel like it's something that's like taking a vitamin because
Right.
it has so many benefits to it.
Right. It's basically a food supplement.
Correct.
Right. And you know, the mechanism of action is that mainly is anti-inflammatory. And most people are suffering, like what you were suffering from was an inflammatory metabolic disorder. And that's literally what you were suffering for. That's why you put on so much weight. You were suffering from inflammatory metabolic disorder, which is 100% diet. So what's going on with you is that you're eating food that your body's having an inflammatory response to, and the inflammation is just looking for different parts of the body to find itself based on your genetic makeup. So it might be your pancreas for the high blood sugar issue, your heart, your arteries, arterial walls, the inflammation will find itself there to give you high blood pressure, so forth and so on. And so what we do with the olive leaf extract is that simply we just found it to be one of the best anti-inflammatory herbs. And so that's why it works so well when you're addressing these inflammatory disorders that people have in terms of metabolic disorder, which is causing the diabetes. So the reason why you're putting on so much weight is because every time you're eating foods that trigger a high insulin response.
Right.
And that insulin response comes, your body literally goes into a fat storage stage. Like literally. Like your body, a lot of people don't realize this, but your body has two sources of energy. One is glucose and the second is fat. The body will use glucose first, and then the glucose will store itself as fat. And then the body will use fat if it runs out of glucose. It's something that we developed as human beings over our evolutionary process to be able to go long times without food and to be able to live off of the fat of our body.
Right.
So that's how the body evolved. And so what happens is that if you're eating foods that are increased in sugar in your body, glucose in your body, it gets stored as fat. It just gets stored as fat, gets stored as fat. And so that's what was happening. That's why you're gaining so much weight. That's why fasting is so important, because what happens is that fasting then sets you off in a pace where your body's no longer releasing insulin, where you're in fat storage. You're in fat burning stage.
Right.
So it takes about 8 to 12 hours after your last meal for your body to make a transition from glucose usage of energy to fat usage of energy. So if you want to lose weight, the quickest way to lose weight is just to fast.
Right.
You know, like I fast all the time, like a 3-day fast. I did a 4-day fast last week, just water for 4 days. And I lost 13 pounds in 4 days. The first day, the first 24 to 48 to 36 hours, I lost 5 pounds.
Wow.
You know how many miles I would have to run to lose 5 pounds? I would have to run 81 miles to lose 5 pounds. So you have a choice. Fast for 36 hours or run 3 or 4 marathons.
Right.
You know,
I'm not running 3 or 4 marathons.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the whole thing is to temper what we eat, to make it anti-inflammatory, and then to eat anti-inflammatory herbs as part of our natural dietary makeup. And that's what you're doing with the olive leaf extract. And so, I mean, I see you now, man, you look full of energy. I never even knew that you were overweight.
Oh yeah. My
I've
energy.
always known you. Yeah, I've always known you to be a pretty kind of medium-sized, thin dude. So it's a shock you telling me that you were actually overweight.
Oh, I was 265, man. I looked like I was bleeding, like sweating butter.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
5'11", 265, yeah.
But when I went into the military, I was 235, and I was running probably 22 miles, like 2 miles in 11 minutes and 20 seconds. So they called me a heavy drop because I could run, and I wasn't out of shape really, but I just was carrying all that weight.
Wow. And so how much you weighing now?
Now I'm 185. So in total, I lost like 80 pounds, 85 pounds.
Yeah, man. That's a great story.
I think it saved my life. I know it saved my life. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at, well, I got 2 grandchildren, and and I have 4 or 5 children myself. So I want to be here for them, to provide solutions to unlock their possibilities, and whatever they go. I share all this with them. So whatever they go through, I'm trying to shrink their learning curve.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, to hear you saying it saved your life, man, that's a powerful testimonial,
Definitely.
That gives me so much more strength to keep on going on and making sure that the olive leaf extract is known to the world, and at Herbal Results, we try to make the strongest and the best. I think we do make the strongest olive leaf extract in the world. And
I wanted to ask you one question. Yeah. Why is you extract yours with vegetable alcohol, correct? And there's some
with vegetable alcohol, not vegetable glycerin.
Yeah, vegetable alcohol. Yeah. Well, there's other versions in the stores. Why is the vegetable alcohol better than
the vegetable glycerin? Oh, okay, that's a great question. So for those listening, the olive leaf extract from Herbal Results is liquid, right? And the reason why it's liquid as opposed to powder olive leaf in a pill or in a capsule is because, according to the physician's desk reference, liquids absorb at 98% in the body. So what happens is that liquids, because they're liquids, they don't go through the digestion process. They bypass digestion and go straight to absorption. Whereas solids, such as the powder or the leaf form, it only has a 10% absorption rate.
Oh, okay.
It goes through the messy digestion process, which loses a lot of what would be absorbed. So you're only getting a 10% absorption as opposed to a 98% absorption, which is damn near 10 times more effective to take a liquid herb than to take the herb in powder form. So that's the reason we wanted, because we knew that we are dealing with very, very sick people who have inflammatory metabolic disorders, and we want to be able to get them the strongest medicine, something that will absorb as quick as possible. That's why we can see the olive leaf lowering blood sugar and blood pressure within 2 hours. Most people take it, and then within 2 hours, their blood pressure is lowered by at least 30 points. Their blood sugar can get normalized within 2 hours. So the liquid form is one reason. And the other thing is that other companies that do make the liquid olive leaf, they make a weaker form because they're using vegetable glycerin as the extraction method. The problem is that vegetable glycerin is about 3 times weaker in terms of the medicinal extraction of the molecule, which is called O-europein, which is that's the molecule, that's the medicinal compound within olive leaf extract. It's called O-europein, O-L-E-U-R-E-P-E-I-N. And it extracts at a much higher rate of efficiency when you use alcohol as the extraction medium as opposed to vegetable glycerin. So there's a lot of people who get different brands and they'll say, well, I've used olive leaf extract in the past and it hasn't done this like dramatic change in my numbers. Why is yours so much more effective? And that's because we looked at the science. We looked at the science of extraction, did experiments, and we looked at it to be able to give people the best product possible.
Right. Because when I recommend it to people and then they say, oh, well, I can just go get it at the dollar store or CVS or something like that. I'm like, well, it's not the same type of product.
Right.
It's not.
Right. And I mean, there's a reason. It's the scientific reason is that the extraction medium is weaker and they might be using a solid form which only gets 10% absorption. And we're giving you something that gives you 98% absorption. That's 10 times more powerful. And so it's going to do more work for you in terms of the anti-inflammatory work that needs to be done to your body because of all of the inflammatory abuse that we give our bodies every single day by opening our mouths and eating. And I'll just say this, as I always say to people, like the clue is right under your nose. It's like your teeth, right? Like sugar can burn a hole into your teeth. So imagine what sugar is doing to your soft internal organs. right?
Right.
Causing a whole amount of corrosiveness and inflammatory conditions inside of your body. And olive leaf extract reverses that by making your body more anti-inflammatory.
And so another thing that was critical for me is like I'm a disabled veteran, so my back, I got degenerative discs in my back, and so when I take the olive leaf extract, my pain is less than it is when I'm not. And then if I stop taking it, my whole back starts aching. So that's when I know, hey, I forgot to take my olive leaf. So like you said, inflammation, arthritis is inflammation too. So it helps me in that aspect too, because I was in pain 24 hours a day. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Oh
I
yeah.
didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, it was rough. You know, if you're in pain 24 hours a day and that's all you're thinking about, that does something a lot to your psyche, your psyche. But I still just pushed it to the side and, fought through because there was a lot of people that was dependent on me. So I had to, keep rolling. But the olive leaf extract definitely removes the pain if you have arthritis.
Yeah, so that's good to know, man. Very happy to hear that we were able to help a good brother out with a product that we want to be disseminated to the rest of the world, and it's always a beautiful thing and encouraging for me to talk to people directly. And I'm gonna do more of these for people so that people can actually see really that we have the scientific evidence and we have the testimonials, but none of that matters if it doesn't work for you. So
right.
The fact that it worked for you is a beautiful thing, man. I'm glad that we were able to match up our scientific data with the testimonials of other people for it to actually have a great effect on your life in so many areas of your health. I didn't even know about the pain issue, but
oh yeah,
the high blood pressure, high blood sugar, your cholesterol was taken care of, and then your pain also. So
and I actually last year I caught COVID in December, I think it was, and it hit me hard because I was coming back from all that stuff, and I was taking olive leaf and moringa the whole time I was sick, and I had no mucus in my body, man. Like everybody else was coughing up mucus.
Yeah,
I can say that it saved. That's why I say it saved my life, because if I wouldn't have been taking it and I filled up with mucus,
yeah,
I could have just like a lot of people died from mucus that had underlying conditions from suffocating.
Because it was you get a thrombosis or you get these inflammatory episodes in the lung, and so olive leaf is going to keep that inflammatory episode from happening. And it's also a zinc ionophore, right? So
correct.
So we got 5 things, right? We got high blood pressure, high blood sugar, cholesterol, pain, and also dealing with that viral infection, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
so definitely helped me tremendously, and I appreciate you for like it just for you to think about something like that, to want to help people. Like there's not a lot of people like that, for your mind to go in that space and say, you know what, our people are suffering, so let me create something that's going to alleviate one of the number one things that's killing people in this world today, inflammation.
Yeah, I mean, I decided to just like kind of really study the situation and see what the underlying issue was for all that. Because, it doesn't make sense that if you're over 40 and you're living in America, so you're on some type of medication,
right.
And they tell you you're going to be on it for the rest of your life. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And I just wanted to get to the bottom of it. And I found that inflammation was the key to all of these illnesses. And you find something that's anti-inflammatory, like olive leaf extract, and then also cut out inflammatory foods in your diet, you can restore yourself back to perfect health, because the body wants to be healthy.
Correct.
It just needs you to just stop feeding trash so it stops having inflammatory responses, which is basically a science experiment. Every time you're eating, it's a science experiment. If you're either triggering an inflammatory response or you're not. So you want to eat so that you don't trigger inflammatory response. That's really what it is. And then, don't eat as much. Just don't eat so much. That's the other side.
Yeah, I started just eating once a day, do a couple smoothies, and just eat once a day. That was one of the secrets to how I lost weight the way I did. Because a lot of people were like, oh, you got to go to the gym and you got to lift and you got to run 5 miles. And I was like, I lost 40 pounds just by eating once a day now.
Yeah. And there's a whole science behind it. I mean, it's called intermittent fasting. So like whether you knew it or not, you were doing intermittent fasting. And whenever you can cross that 12-hour mark, your body starts going into the fat burning stage.
Okay.
Anybody who can cross the 12-hour mark of not eating, your body goes into the fat burning stage, where it's living off of fats in your body and it's burning the fats. And it's like you can actually lose weight just through mind activity. People don't know how many calories the mind burns. Like it can even burn more than you doing aerobic activity. They've measured chess players. Chess players lose a lot of calories during the time that they're playing chess because their mind is at work. They've even seen the chess players lose more calories than people who are working out.
Wow.
Yeah, because what the mind will use. And think about it. Think about it before we close. How many obese intellectuals do you know of?
Not too many.
I
don't know any.
Yeah, the mind takes a lot of power, energy from the body. So if you go 12 hours and you're like doing thinking and you haven't eaten for 12 hours, your body ends up burning a lot of fat, more than if you were running, to lose weight on a treadmill. It's crazy, it's very interesting. And that's a whole different interview. That's a whole different conversation. But yeah, it's just a mix of not eating so much, eating the right foods, anti-inflammatory, and then taking anti-inflammatory herbs as part of your diet.
Right.
Yeah, man. So we had Herbal Results, man. We're happy to hear about your message, bro. I'm glad that I know you personally and was able to add some value in your life with a product, man. And thank you for spreading the word, man.
No doubt. I appreciate you.
All right. That was Brother Howard Dorsey. And he had a great story about high blood pressure, high blood sugar, cholesterol, pain, and viral infection reversal with Herbal Results olive leaf extract. And I believe he uses the super strength formula. So
correct.
Yeah. So we'd like to thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us. And to the listening audience, you'll be getting more and more stories like this as we move forward. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right. And what I want to do is share with you all the product that Howard used. Howard used the Super Strength olive leaf extract. And this is the bottle that he used. Okay. $40 bottle. Ships anywhere in the world. Anywhere you are in the world, you can get this. And this is what he used to reverse his diabetes, high blood pressure, his high cholesterol, his back pain, losing weight, and all of that, all in one. Okay. So that's what he did. So you just go to herbalresults.net, resolve your issues that way. We try to make this as simple as possible.
Let's go to the phones. We got one caller been waiting patiently. He said, didn't learn or not. Brother Kevin, you know him. Brother Kevin, come on with the brother, man. Brother Heru.
Hey, what's happening? It's kind of hard to hear you. Anthony, can you turn it up a little bit if you're able to?
Speak up a little, brother.
I had on speakerphone, but can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize on that. I was listening about the fasting. That was very key. I had went on for 3 months. I went on one meal every 2 days fast, and I lost like 20 pounds, and my blood pressure is being regulated better, and doctors tell me to check my phosphate blood level and my cholesterol, sugar, so I've been feeling a lot better. And basically, what I was calling about. Someone asked about Lexapro drug for depression, and how you feel about that? If you familiar with that, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, what's the name of the pill?
Lexapro.
Lexico.
PRO. Yeah, for we call depression, suicidal thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Brother Anthony, can you tell me the spelling of that again? Did he say
Lexapro, Lexpro? Is that right? LEX.
Oh,
LEXA.
PRO. Okay, so this is what we do. What we do is all the time, and you can do this too, so you don't have to ask me. So I'd like you to use your smartphone and go to drugs.com, and we can do this together.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go to drugs.com. Mm-hmm. So we're on drugs.com
this is
right
what I
now.
do, Brother Kevin. I do it when folks call me as well. But go ahead, brother.
Yep. You just go to drugs.com, put in Lexapro. And then what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down. You're going to see Lexapro with a gold star. It tells you what it is, an antidepressant from a group of drugs called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Those are SSRIs. So then you're going to scroll down a little bit more, and you're going to go you're going to put in 2 words, side effects. Okay? And then you're going to scroll down. So when we scroll down, we want to go to where it may say long-term, if they have it there. There it is. Lexapro side effects, common, severe, long-term. You click that. This is what you're going to do for every single medication, not just Lexapro. Every medication you're going to, and as I said, the first section is going to tell you, okay?
It's
So
critical, man.
this is what they call the gray or black box warning part.
Right.
And the first thing it says is suicidal thoughts and behaviors under side effects.
Right.
Okay. It says there's an increased risk of suicidal thoughts and behaviors. So you're already depressed, but you're taking a medicine that can actually make you have suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Okay. So this is letting you know the type of people you're dealing with. Okay. You have someone who's already in some type of depression, but you want to give them a medication that side effects as suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Okay. We're going to then scroll down, and it's going to give you a list of different side effects. And I mean, it's got a whole lot. So the common side effects that they say that if this happens, you can check with a healthcare professional. So these are the serious side effects: diarrhea, dry mouth, heartburn, sleepiness or unusual drowsiness, or trouble sleeping. So you can get either or. Less common: bloated, full feeling, burning, crawling, itching, decreased appetite, right? And you just keep increased sweating, joint pain, right? You get pain in different places, shivering, sneezing, stuffy nose, unusual dreams. You got someone who's depressed, now they're getting unusual dreams, right? All right. And then they have other serious side effects: decreased interest in sexual intercourse, delayed or inability to have an orgasm, inability to have or keep an erection, loss of sexual. So your whole, intimate life is completely damaged through this. So here's the thing: you've got depression, and your depression is now affecting your intimate life, right? So it's going to then be causing more depression, right? So you get a rare side effect, they say, but it's listed, is a coma. You can actually end up in a coma from taking this medication. Confusion, decreased urine input, which means that your kidneys are being affected. Fast irregular heartbeat, seizures, trouble breathing, okay? Then when we go down to the 4 healthcare professionals, where they break it down in terms of organs, so psychiatric. So about 10% of people who take that medication end up with insomnia. So now you can't sleep. About 10% will get abnormal dreams or anxiety. Okay. So this is a problem. And then they also say acute psychosis, anger, completed suicide. So there are people who actually were successful in committing suicide. And they call it, look at the way they phrase it, completed suicide. Do you see that?
Right.
Delirium, delusion, disorientation, non-accidental overdose, psychotic disorder, nightmares. Post-marketing report means that after they put it on the market, these are the reports that they started getting. Okay? All right. You scroll down. Yeah, you're saying, wow, your doctors and your healthcare professionals should have done this. The thing is this: what people find out is that when they talk to me, they find out they should have gotten this information from the doctors that they're paying, not from calling a free radio show. Your doctors are charging you money, and they're not giving you this information. Why are you getting this information free on a radio show when you've paid people who are supposed to be, taking care of your health? Shouldn't they be the ones sitting down having this conversation with you? So nervous system, headaches. About 24% of people who take this get a headache. It's very common, it says. Okay? Tremors, amnesia. 1% of people get amnesia. Okay. Again, frequency not reported. Abnormal gait, cerebrovascular accident, convulsions, seizure. So seizures play a big role in this. I mean, look what it says, post-marketing report. Parkinsonism. So you can get Parkinson's symptoms. Okay? Convulsions. Okay? Cardiovascular, you can get palpitations. Look at all this. Abnormal bleeding, atrial fibrillation, cardiac failure. It says, I mean, I'm reading this in black and white. Cardiac failure, hypertensive crisis, thrombosis. I mean, it's crazy. And then you keep scrolling down. Gastrointestinal, 10% or more. Nausea, up to 18, close to 20%. 1 out of every 5 people end up with some type of nausea. 14% of the people end up with diarrhea. 10% abdominal pain, constipation. I'm just reading what's there. This is not anything that I'm saying. Pancreatitis, metabolic, decrease appetite, increase appetite, weight increase. You can gain weight. Abnormal glucose tolerance. So now you could end up with diabetes mellitus. Okay? Hypoglycemia. So in other words, you can get low blood sugar too. So it's all over the place. You can get high blood sugar, you can get low blood sugar from this. It's all over the place. Okay, and they give you fatigue, 10% of people. Okay? Women, you can get a spontaneous abortion. It says right here, spontaneous abortion. Okay? 10% or more get an ejaculation disorder. You see that?
Don't stop.
Yeah, 10% or more get ejaculation disorder.
Hmm.
Okay? And it just goes
It just
on.
keep going, bro. It just goes on and on and on.
It goes on and on and on till the break of dawn.
Yeah,
And dermatologic. So now you've got ejaculation disorder, you've got seizures, you've got blood sugar problems, and then you're going to get increased sweating, right? You're going to get eczema. You can get all types of problems in your skin. Toxic epidermal necrolysis.
So knowing
Necro
this,
just
though,
means
brother
dead.
Heru,
Mhm.
knowing this information, but brother Kevin, you're not, of course, you haven't been prescribed this. You're asking for somebody else. But knowing this, what would you advise? You're not a doctor, but what would you advise if you're under this prescription that person to do?
Well, first thing I need to know is what other medications might you be taking, right? I want to know any medication. I don't care if it's look at this. Acute renal failure is one of the side effects of that medication. Acute renal failure. It says right here.
That's right.
So the first thing I want to know is, are you on any other medications for anything at all? And then I want to look at those side effects for those medications. And guess what I've found? What's the brother's name who's calling? Kevin. So what I found is I will literally ask, what are medications you taking? And someone might say, oh, I'm taking a pain medication,
right,
because I injured my knee or something, right? And I'll say, give me the name of the medication. And then you'll look at the medication. One of the side effects of medication is depression, right?
Right.
For medication you're taking for something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're able to pinpoint, hey, this is where your depression is coming from. It's actually coming from the medication that you're taking.
Right.
So the first thing that you need to do is find out if this person's taking any medications at all.
Right.
And then at that point, you're going to look at those medications and see if one of the side effects is literally listed as depression. That's the easiest solution, right?
Right.
Then number 2, if someone is suffering from depression, I want to know if you've got any nutrient deficiencies, because guess what? What they didn't tell you is that vitamin D deficiency can cause depression. Yeah, you know what they call it? You know the other word for it, for depression coming from vitamin D deficiency? Listen to what they call it. You've heard this before. Seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
You know what that acronym is? SAD.
SAD. Okay. I got it. Yeah,
Seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
And what they're really saying is that this happens a lot during the winter time. And a lot of people in places like where I'm about to go, London, have it because they don't get enough sunshine.
Right.
And it's not just that you like the sun because, oh, it's a beautiful sunny day type thing. No, you're not getting enough vitamin D in your system. And when you don't have enough vitamin D in your system, you can start getting these problems around depression, and they call it seasonal affective disorder, which is low vitamin D.
That's a scientific fact.
Okay.
Right.
Another thing that can cause depression is magnesium deficiency.
Right.
Okay. So I would tell people to also load up on magnesium. So before we say that this person is depressed per se clinically, we want to know what medications you're taking that could have a side effect of depression. And then we want to step up your vitamin D and your magnesium. That's what we want to do. And then if that is not working, we want to know what else is going on in your life, because what we find out with people with depression, they overthink things a lot. And one of the ways to get out of depression is to literally move your body, because depression is basically causing you to be a shell of yourself. And what happens is when you start moving your body around, there's all types of things that happen that combat depression. So I always tell people, if you're depressed, then we need to start walking. We need to start running. I'll say this. Have you ever seen a depressed person sprint?
Good question. Good
No.
question.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start sprinting.
Okay.
We're going to get your body moving, because guess what? When we had to hunt for food and like chase animals, we didn't have time to be depressed.
That's a good point. Right. Right.
You understand?
Right. Yeah. And you notice that, a lot of so-called depressed people are sitting around.
Yeah, sedentary. They're completely
right.
sedentary. And so one of the ways that we hack against depression is let's get your body moving so that your body actually can't do what depressed people do, which is sitting still.
Right.
So we reverse engineer what does a non-depressed person look like? They're active. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you active, and then we're going to see what happens to your depression there. Right. And a lot of times it's circumstantial. People are depressed because they've had some trauma in their lives. They've had a lot of things going on. And so what we're going to do, man, is we're going to use a systematic approach. First, we need to find out, are you on any medications at all for anything? I don't care if you're taking a medication for your tooth pain or a medication for, a fungal infection you got on your foot. I need to know that medication. I need to know the side effects.
Right.
And it might say depression, and that might be your answer right there. And they don't even look at that, and they'll just throw you medication like SSRIs, and you saw the side effects of those medications. Like, it was black and white. And then we're going to look at your nutrient profile. And usually the main culprit is low vitamin D or low magnesium. We may even look at other nutrients, but those two usually that's the key, magnesium and vitamin D. And turns out that they're cofactors to each other. In other words, magnesium causes vitamin D to be synthesized and absorbed in the body even better. So they need each other. And it turns out that if you're missing one or two of them, you can get depression just from missing those nutrients, man. And so we want to attack it that way, because if we solve the problems that way, your problem is solved forever without side effects and very inexpensively, right? If you solve it or try to solve it using these medications that let's look at all the side effects that come along with it. So if there are two routes to success, you want to choose the route that's least expensive with the least amount of side effects. That's what we do at Herbal Results. So hopefully that was helpful for you, my brother.
Oh yeah, and then another thing, mom told me they smoked some weed while they were taking medicine. They ran into convulsion and mix it. And she had told them don't mix that stuff. And like I said, and when you said heartbeat, they said they felt like they were having a heart attack. So smoking weed and mixing that together. So a lot of stuff synthetic weed now. So yeah, I appreciate this good information, but that website gonna be key. So I'm going to
Okay. Yes, everybody should go to drugs.com, bookmark it, or you can download the app on your phone. If you got any family members who's taking any medication, you need to download drugs.com and show them the side effects of the medication that they're taking, and show them that there are alternatives that don't have those side effects. And you just go to herbalresults.net. If you got any questions, just hit us up and email us, and we'll answer your questions. Okay.
All right, my brother. Appreciate you calling. Brother Heru, how's important, man? Explain to folks if you can, when they hear about these dangers or see it out there, they research it, have questions in regard to weaning off or just getting rid of it cold turkey. So it's some harmful, it may be harmful to go cold turkey, but explain that.
Yeah, so I mean, some of these things, your body gets so adjusted to it that if you go completely cold turkey, your body will go into some haywire after a while because of the withdrawal symptoms. Those drugs are few and far between. Most drugs you can. And so if you're thinking about going cold turkey, just use your smartphone and say, like, can this medication be discontinued abruptly without any problems? And it will let you know.
Mm-hmm.
It will let you know. And so I just want people to we're in the information age. Everyone has a smartphone. Right. Use your smartphone and ask these questions. You'll get answers to these questions. Here's the thing. I don't want people to look at me as their personal Google or their personal chat GPT. I want you to learn the tools to be able to answer these questions for yourself instead of waiting on me. And I think part of it too is that there's been something put in people's heads that the only people who can deal with your health are people associated with a hospital or whatever. And what happens is that your health gets third-partied and siloed to them. You're basically subcontracting your health to other people. And we think that these are the only people who can answer our health problems, when actually, if you can just empower yourself and do the research and get used to doing it, you can answer these questions. And a lot of times these healthcare professionals, whatever they want to call themselves, a lot of them don't know this information. They have to research it too.
Yeah. That's right.
So
we're brother. Let's go back to the phones.
Okay.
Let's take caller. Caller's been waiting. Caller, you on with Brother Heru? Can you hear her, Brother Heru?
I cannot hear her, but you can just repeat her question to me. It's hard for me to hear what the callers are saying, and I think it's hard for the listeners to hear it as well, the people who tuned in online.
All right, so talk up a little louder, and so he can hear you. Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. So my question is, I have quite a few people in my family that have Alzheimer's and dementia, and I wanted to know if anyone in his protocol can help with that situation.
Excellent question. Alzheimer's and dementia. Yeah.
So also, yes, we do have protocol for that, and here's what I would like her. Well, first thing I need to know is, and I'll ask her, is the person that you're talking about on statin drugs?
Yeah.
She said yes, brother.
Tell her that's her answer.
Did you hear that? Right. She heard you.
But I'm not sure if everybody is on statin drugs. If my grandmother had it, my father has it, my aunt has it. So I can't really speak for all of them as far as what medication they were on.
Okay.
So it's kind of prevalent, and for me, I'm like, well, what can I do now to prevent going down that road?
Okay, so you have to understand what's happening. So, first of all, Alzheimer's and dementia. One of the main causes of Alzheimer's and dementia is statin drugs. What statin drugs do is that they lower the body of cholesterol, because they have this theory that heart disease is caused by high cholesterol, which is actually an incorrect theory. I've gone over it several times. It's actually inflammation that's causing heart disease and not cholesterol. And the inflammation is coming largely from sugar. Okay? And too much sugar is going to lead to inflammation of the brain, which can also cause Alzheimer's and dementia. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if the caller knows does she know? Let me ask the caller, do you know what the other name for Alzheimer's is?
No, I don't.
It's type 3 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So now that puts a lot in perspective, right? So that would be a high sugar, high carbohydrate diet can cause inflammation of the brain, which then they call type 3 diabetes, but they really should call it what it is. It's inflammation of the brain due to sugar. Okay. So the other problem is that you're eating a carbohydrate diet. You've got high blood pressure. And they give you these, and then you've got trapped cholesterol because of the inflammation. They say you have high cholesterol, and they'll give you statin drugs. And please go to drugs.com. Under these statin drugs, you'll see atorvastatin, which is Lipitor, and then you'll see, I think there's another one which is Crestor. But we've shown very clearly, and I don't know, she's listening to the radio, right? So she's not tuned in right now.
Yeah, you on the radio, sister? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the radio.
Okay, so this is what I want you to do.
Yeah, WSYP 95.1.
Yeah, this is what I want you to do. Pull out your phone, and I want you to go to your browser. We can do this right now.
Okay, I'm on my computer now.
Okay, on your computer, great. I want you to go to drugs.com, and you're going to go to put in atorvastatin side effects. Atorvastatin is probably the most popular one, the statin drug that they give people.
Yeah, spell it good, brother.
Atorvastatin. Ator, Ator, and then VA, and then statin. Atorvastatin. You see that?
Yes, I see it.
Great. And then I want you to put in side effects after the word atorvastatin.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now, and I'm showing everyone how to do this, so you won't need me. I want you to scroll down where you see atorvastatin side effects. You're going to scroll down. You're probably going to see atorvastatin with a gold star next to it. Do you see that?
Got that? All right.
No, wait a minute.
When you put in atorvastatin side effects in the search bar, the first thing that you'll see is atorvastatin with a gold star. Do you see that?
I see where it came up with the side effects, but I don't see what you're saying.
No, you should see at the very top atorvastatin with a gold star next to it. Everyone's seeing it right now because I'm sharing the screen. You don't see it?
No, I'm trying to. I don't see it.
Okay, when you scroll down, do you see where it says?
And I have a tour with that, but it's on
Okay. Okay, do you see where it says atorvastatin side effects, common, severe, long term? Do you see that? When you scroll down, do you see where it says atorvastatin side effects, common, severe, long term?
Yeah, the common.
Severe, long term, do you see that?
No, my screen froze. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull it back up.
Oh, your screen froze.
Yeah, so I apologize.
All right. Yeah, I just want you to see this because you'll understand what's going on. You're going to see atorvastatin side effects, common, severe, long term. You still don't see it? Brother Anthony, she still on?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
she's
I see it.
looking
I
for
see
it.
I see it.
She got it.
Okay, you see side effects, common, severe, long term. You see that?
You want me to click on side effects?
No, I want you to click on where it says side effects, atorvastatin side effects, common, severe, long term. Do you see that?
Okay, serious side effects. Okay.
No. I need you to click on where it says common, severe, long term. Do you see that?
I don't see the common, severe, long term.
Okay. All right. This is
Common side effects.
all right. This is what I need you to do. I want you to go back to the page. Go back. Okay. Do you see the search bar?
I have a search bar. I have a
Okay. The search bar should say atorvastatin side effects. Does it say that in your search bar?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Click that. Press enter.
Okay.
And stay on that page. Do you see atorvastatin with a gold star next to it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, scroll down. Don't click it, just scroll down. Keep scrolling. You're going to then see side effects, atorvastatin side effects, common, severe, long-term. Do you see that?
Yes.
Click that where it says common, severe, long-term. Click that. And then you're going to see a page where it says in black, bold, atorvastatin side effects. Do you see that?
Yes, and they broken down the common and then also severe.
Okay, but at the very top, you see where it says atorvastatin side effects, right?
Yes.
In bold black letters, right?
Yes.
And it says under it, medically reviewed by drugs.com, last updated December 3rd, 2025. Do you see that?
That's easy.
It's right below the title. Do you see it?
I have, yes, medically reviewed by drugs.com, last updated December 3rd, 2025.
Great. We're on the same page. Now you're going to scroll down. Keep scrolling, and we're going to go close to the bottom of the page, okay? And I'll tell you where to go. We're going to go to where it says for healthcare professionals. Just keep scrolling down. You're going to see for healthcare professionals. Do you see that?
See that?
Okay. So these are the statin drugs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to keep scrolling down, and then there's going to be a conversation here. Let me just find it. Okay. That's where we're going to go. You're going to go to where it says nervous system. Scroll all the way down. Scroll all the way down, and you're going to see nervous system.
Okay, I'm there.
Great. Scroll down lower than that, and you're going to see where it says post-marketing reports. Do you see that?
Impairment? Yeah, cognitive impairment.
Cognitive impairment, yes. So basically, after they put it on the market, people reported cognitive impairment. Now, what I want you to do is, you see where it says hemorrhagic stroke?
Yeah.
Okay, it says that hemorrhagic stroke, which is the worst kind of stroke you can have, there's two types, ischemic and hemorrhagic, and 2% of people who take this statin drug will get a hemorrhagic stroke. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, the next paragraph is what's important. Now, I want you to read that. It says cognitive impairment. Do you see that?
Cognitive impairment, memory loss, forgetfulness, amnesia, memory impairment, confusion.
Has been reported rarely with all statins. Cognitive impairment was generally non-serious and reversible upon statin discontinuation.
Okay.
Times to symptom onset.
You know what else is crazy in here? They said that it has been reported rarely.
Yes, but then read what they say afterwards. And listen, they say all statins, but they don't mean specific ones. They're talking about all of them together, right? But then read what it says afterwards. Cognitive impairment was generally non-serious and reversible upon statin discontinuation. Times to symptom onset, 1 day to years. That means you can take statins, and in 1 day you can get amnesia.
Right.
And symptom resolution, median of 3 weeks, were variable. So basically what they're saying is you can get amnesia, memory loss, or forgetfulness 1 day or years after taking these statin drugs, and then you can actually get symptom reversal or resolution 3 weeks after discontinuation, which I have seen over and over. So what we do is we tell granny or grandpa to stop taking statins,
Right.
and then within 2 to 3 weeks, their memory starts coming back. We've seen this over and over and over again. But no one ever probably told granny or grandpa this, right?
That's right.
Right.
So this is what I wanted you to see. So what happens is the statin drugs deprive the body of cholesterol. Guess what the brain needs? The brain needs cholesterol. So now this lowering cholesterol has been removed from the brain, and the brain needs the cholesterol to process. and that's where you start getting the dementia and the amnesia from. The other thing that can cause Alzheimer's and dementia, as I said, is type 3 diabetes, which is just increased blood sugar. And the other thing that can cause it is vitamin B12 deficiency, which you're just deficient in B12, and deficiency in B12 causes you to lose your memory. So all you got to do is supplement with B12. And then the fourth thing is aluminum toxicity in the brain that can come from different, like what you're eating in terms of aluminum pots and pans or injections that might have aluminum as adjuvants. And you do a heavy metal cleanse with cilantro, zeolite, or charcoal, and you start seeing improvements in people's memory. But from my experience, the number one cause of Alzheimer's and dementia is either statin drugs, B12 deficiency, or increased blood sugar. That's what it is. So hopefully that was helpful for you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You say that either it is the drug, the
statin drugs, vitamin B12 deficiency, or high blood sugar.
And the metal toxicity, right?
Yes, and the metal toxicity.
So your protocol for that would be the cilantro moringa. And
Yeah,
then,
yes. And then for reversing the high blood sugar, that would be a sugar-free and low carbohydrate diet, a ketogenic diet. And then B12 deficiency, you're going to take methylated B12. Make sure it's methylated, it absorbs much better. Yeah, methylated B12.
And then M-E-T-H-Y-L?
Yeah, methyl, METHYLATED. That's the type of B12 that should be taken, methylated B12. And then you're going to also discontinue the statins.
Absolutely.
Okay, and you do all those, you should see a huge improvement in the person's memory. And what you can do also is take coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil per day.
Good.
Okay, and that's the work of Dr. Mary Newport, whose husband had Alzheimer's dementia, and she was able to reverse it with coconut oil, which is basically introducing ketones into the body, which is an alternative fuel source from sugar. So basically, he was suffering from type 3 diabetes, which was just too much sugar, and added the coconut oil. So now the body had ketones to burn instead. And so you can add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil per day as well for someone with Alzheimer's dementia. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And this can be used as a preventative measure as well. So this is great.
Absolutely.
Good call. Good exercise.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom, sir.
No problem.
Thank you. All right. Come back. Give us a testimony as well.
I will. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Peace to you.
All right.
That's a good exercise, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for people to do it, but I just want to make people clear that, like, this is how I do it. So all you have to do is just do what I do. Go to drugs.com and start researching these things and start looking at the side effects of these medications that you got going on. And so it's very, very important to do this. I just like to show people my methodology, because what happens is, people like to sequester information as if they're the only ones who can tell you this information. They don't teach you the methodology. And really what it is so that you become, a source of the information so you can pay them only. But I don't believe in that. I believe in teaching you how to get the information so that you can get the information for yourself, so you don't have to rely on me. I don't want anyone to rely on me for their health. All I want you to do is just learn how I was able to solve the problem, and then just replicate what I do to get the same results. That's how we do on Wealth Wednesdays as well. I don't want you to rely on me. I just want you to understand how I think about these things and where I go to find the information, and you're able to solve your problems yourself. Like the sister now will be able to go on drugs.com and look at the side effects of medication and be able to see what's going on and what's being said about it, just like the brother who called earlier. So, each one teach one. And we are at 10:30, and I know Brother Anthony usually out at 10. o'clock Eastern Standard. You gave us a little bit more time. We do owe overtime, more time, but this week we have done everything we wanted to do today with the show.
That's
On
right.
Wednesday, we'll be doing more of the wealth results. We'll be doing the stock calculators with DCA and all of that, dollar cost averaging. We'll be looking at how some of these stock picks are doing. And so tune in Wednesday for wealth results with myself, Brother Anthony, and Red Pill. Red Pill couldn't make it today. So we'll be back with Know the Ledge Media and Know the Ledger on YouTube on Wednesday. But, you know, as usual, you'll be able to tune in Sankofa Revolutionary Radio website, WSYP 95.1. Big up to all the listeners. And then a big up to all the people tuned in on YouTube, X, and Facebook. All right. Any questions that you have about health, just hit us up at herbalresults.net and we'll take it from there. All right, Brother Anthony,
We'll see
please
you
close
Wednesday,
out.
bro. All right. Peace to you.
All right. Peace.